Okay, starting over. Sorry. Just realized I have no idea how long I was going without actually recording. The joys of technology. So we're gonna look at one exception here, and this is kind of the main one. This is the one that tends to trip people up the most. Which is the third person. We're going to notice that we have an irregular form in our indirect object in the third person, so our le or our les. So let's take a look at an example. We've got Juan le da un libro a Juana. I know, very original with the names, sorry. So first off, let's break this down. So first off, what is Juan giving? Because remember, again, dar is our verb to give. What's being given? Un libro. And then to whom is it being given? Who's benefiting from the action of giving? Juana. But we're going to see here that it's a little bit different when we simplify it down. So let's do that. So again, if we already know who it's being given to and what's being given, saying Juan gives the book to Juana is a bit redundant, right? We just say, he gives it to her, because we know who we're talking about. But we're going to see it's a little bit different with our third person. So we've got Juan se lo da a Juana. And this is optional. We could just as easily not have that. That's, again, for purposes of clarification or emphasis. So the main thing we want to be focused on here is, what's that say about? So really, this is the main exception, and this is the main thing that tends to trip people up, is that le or les becomes se, but only in this double object pronoun structure. That's what we want to keep in mind. Only when we've got the two pronouns next to each other, the direct object and the indirect object. Only when we have the two pronouns next to each other does that le turn to, or les turn to se. Some of you who've seen this before, you might have heard, oh, it's because it's hard to say le lo. No, it's not, and that has nothing to do with it. It's a natural phonetic evolution. If you're interested in a little bit more information why, give me a call on the Google Voice during office hours. I'd be happy to give you a little bit more information on that. But yeah, that le lo, it has nothing to do with pronunciation. It's actually a natural phenomenon. But rather than getting into that, probably the best thing is just to remember, first, only in this construction, only when we've got the indirect and the direct object pronouns next to each other. If we have le or les, so if we have a third person indirect object pronoun, it's going to turn into se. But again, only when they're together. So let's take a look at another example. Please tell me it's still recording. Yes. Okay. So let's do one with les. So Paco les dice la noticia a Jorge y a Maria. So Paco tells the news to Jorge and Maria. So first off, let's break this one down. So first off, marker. First off, what's being said? So what is he telling? La noticia, the news. And then to whom is he telling it? So who's benefiting from the news? These are going to match up. So Jorge y Maria. So again, let's imagine that we already know what we're talking about. So to avoid that redundancy, we are going to just simplify it out. We're going to shorten it up. So I could say Paco se la dice. So the same thing is going on here. So again, we just want to remember, this isn't going to change. Our direct object pronoun is not going to change. This only affects our indirect object pronoun. It only affects it when it is in the third person, which is to say le or les. And again, and on top of that, it only affects it when we have that double construction. So this is only going to happen when we have the two pronouns next to each other. Let's do one more example, just to show that we also have the option of working with infinitives. So let's say yo le voy a dar un